13-year-old Ethan Ward had always walked like someone trying to disappear, shoulders slightly bent, eyes down, footsteps light as if he feared making noise. Life had not been kind since his father's sudden death 2 years earlier. Ethan's mother worked double shifts at a diner, leaving Ethan alone for hours each day with nothing but silence. Memories and a sketchbook filled with drawings of the man he missed more than anything. But Kingsford High was never gentle with quiet kids. Logan Pierce was the worst kind of predator for someone like Ethan. Logan was tall, athletic, admired, and feared. With golden brown hair, a charming smirk, and a father powerful enough to bend school rules, Logan acted as though he owned the corridors. Teachers praised him for his sports achievements, while students avoided his path so they wouldn't become his next target. And one day, Logan decided Ethan was weak enough to be his favorite victim. It began with small humiliations. Logan would accidentally knock Ethan's books from his hands. He would slide cruel remarks under his breath, loud enough for others to hear. "Careful, Ward," he'd say. "You look like you'll fall apart any second." Students laughed, and Ethan simply tried to shrink smaller, hoping the world would forget he existed. But bullies don't stop when you're silent, they grow hungrier. One rainy Thursday afternoon, Ethan stayed late after school, finishing a pencil portrait of his father. It was the last drawing he had been working on for weeks, each line shaped from love, pain, and longing. He placed the sketchbook gently into his backpack and walked out, the sky dark and heavy with rain. As he reached the back of the gym, he froze. Logan and his 3 friends were already there, like they had been waiting. "Well, look who wandered into our territory," Logan said, stepping forward with a grin that chilled Ethan's bones. Before Ethan could respond, Logan yanked the backpack from his shoulder and dumped its contents onto the wet concrete books, pencils, and finally, the sketchbook. Ethan felt his stomach drop. "No," Ethan whispered, stepping forward. "Please don't touch that." Logan lifted the sketchbook, flipped it open, and smirked at the drawing inside. "Duh, did you cry while drawing your daddy?" Ethan felt the words stab him, but before he could say anything, Logan tossed the sketchbook into a muddy puddle. The water swallowed the paper instantly, the pencil lines dissolving along with the last image Ethan had of his father. Logan shoved him hard, knocking him into the mud. "Grow up, Ward. The world doesn't care about weak kids." The boys walked away laughing, leaving Ethan soaked, dirty, and staring at the ruined pages. But he did not cry. For the first time, the pain inside him didn't break him, transformed him. That night, he stood in front of his bathroom mirror, hair dripping with rainwater and mud streaked across his face, and whispered, "I will never be this weak again." From that night onward, Ethan changed. He woke up at dawn every morning to train. At first, he could barely manage a few push-ups, but he pushed himself anyway. He watched online videos on workout routines, practiced punches, learned breathing control, and ran every evening until his lungs burned. His thin arms grew stronger, his legs more stable, his posture straighter. At the library, he devoured books on psychology, body language, strategy, and emotional strength. He learned how people think, how bullies control others, how fear works, and how confidence can be built through silence. The librarian, Miss Thornberry, noticed his determination and guided him toward advanced books and journals. Ethan learned not just to defend himself, but to understand people, especially Logan. By the time the new school year began, Ethan had changed so much that students barely recognized him. He wasn't huge, but he was lean, defined, and carried a quiet authority. His eyes no longer carried fear, they carried focus. Logan noticed too, but mistook it for a temporary phase. Ethan began his revenge carefully. The science fair was approaching, and Logan had a reputation for winning every year, mostly because his father hired professionals to do his projects. Ethan followed the signs. He photographed the delivery van bringing the project late at night, traced the design to an engineer's website, documented the original prototype with dates, and collected proof that Logan had cheated. On the morning of the fair, the judges received an anonymous envelope filled with evidence. Logan stood proudly in front of the project while reporters took pictures, until the judges approached him with stern faces. Within minutes, Logan's project was disqualified. The reporters turned their cameras away from him, and whispers spread through the crowd. For the first time, Logan felt the sting of humiliation. Ethan watched from afar, silent and composed. Next, Ethan went after Logan's strongest shield, his group of friends. Over the weeks, Ethan subtly exposed small truths at the right moments. He let Jack know that Logan made fun of his football skills. He revealed to Harry that Logan had called him a coward behind his back. Bit by bit, Ethan planted seeds of distrust. Arguments broke out. Fights happened. The group shattered. Logan began walking the halls alone, looking lost and angry, thrown off balance by the sudden collapse of his world. The final moment arrived on an orange-tinted evening at the old basketball court. Ethan knew Logan went there when he needed to release frustration. When Logan stormed in, he froze at the sight of Ethan standing in the center of the court. Calm and waiting. "What did you do?" Logan shouted, chest heaving. "My project, my friends, everything is falling apart." "You think you're big now?" Ethan stepped forward slowly. "You took everything from me once," he said quietly. "Now I took everything from you. That's balance." Logan shoved him, expecting Ethan to fall like he used to. Ethan didn't move. Logan shoved again, harder. Ethan still didn't move. Logan's confidence cracked. He swung a punch, but Ethan blocked it effortlessly, his movements sharp and precise. Logan stumbled back, frightened. "You don't scare me anymore," Ethan said, his voice steady. "You built your strength on fear. I built mine on pain. Pain lasts longer." Logan backed away, breath trembling. Unable to believe the powerless boy he once tormented had become someone stronger than him without ever raising a fist. Ethan didn't hit him. He didn't hurt him. He didn't need to. Because fear had finally switched sides, Logan stopped bullying everyone after that day. He avoided Ethan's gaze, avoided conflict, avoided cruelty. His arrogance collapsed, and the school slowly shifted from fearing Logan to ignoring him. Ethan, on the other hand, grew brighter. He joined the boxing club. His teachers noticed his confidence. His mother saw him smiling more. He helped other students who were bullied, standing up for those who couldn't stand up for themselves. People whispered about him in the hallways, not as a victim, but as someone who had risen through fire. The weak boy who once cried over a ruined sketchbook had disappeared. In his place stood someone stronger, wiser, and unforgettable. Pain had shaped him. Strength had rebuilt him. And Kingsford High never forgot the rise of the 13-year-old boy who grew strong.